Finance Minister Tito Mboweni has announced the government is to scrap VAT on sanitary pads in 2019. During the medium-term budget speech on Wednesday, Mboweni announced the removal of VAT from non-luxury items, which include sanitary pads, white bread flour and cake flour. He also announced the rolling out of free sanitary pads to low-fee schools in all the provinces. Amandla, mobi, an advocacy group working with communities around the country, have been campaigning for free sanitary towels and zero VAT, has cautiously welcomed the move. He joined in studio by Nxolo Mfocwa from the Amandla, mobi to discuss the recent developments. A very good evening to you, Nxolo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You've taken the recent announcement with a pinch of salt. You're not so convinced. Why?
We welcome the Minister's interventions in terms of no VAT on free sanitary pads. We welcome his rollout of free sanitary pads in low-income schools across the country. We welcome that. We're very excited that this is a move that the Minister has decided to take, and we feel like it's a step in the right direction, and it could only get better from now. But the thing is, there are other items that are not luxury items that we had campaigned for to be added onto the list of zero-rated items. So these would be items like nappies, school uniforms, and stuff like cultured milk. These are basic things that South Africans need every day. And for you to be vetting those items and having them as VAT-rated items is it's wrong. We see it as wrong, and we had opened up to suggestions from our members. We opened up for submissions of items they would have wanted to be added onto the list of zero-rated items. We had an initial list of 21 items that was submitted to the panel that Malusi Gigaba had set up to consider what items should be added on to the list. And out of those 21 items, the list went down to 6, and that panel recommended those 6 items. And would really like for the Minister to actually add all 6 items onto that list.
You know, that list may be a tad too long for Finance Minister Tito Mboweni to stomach. I mean, he also mentioned budgetary constraints or budgetary considerations that, for instance, there's a 1.2 billion rand that is a shortfall from a result of that. So where do you think the Minister will get all the extra money to cushion that shortfall for that extra list?
Listen, there's a number of places that we as Amandla Mobi have proposed that the Minister find the deficit from. For instance, in this country, as things stand, 89% of South African companies are non-tax compliant. So why is SARS not doing its job and collecting that revenue? That's a source of revenue. 89% of companies in this country are not tax compliant. Number 2, we've had campaigns like the sugary drinks tax campaign, where we had asked Minister Malusi Gigaba to implement a sugary drinks tax, which was implemented, but we're also campaigning more that it be increased from 11% to 20%, so as to bring more streams of income. There's also the tobacco tax. There's also the carbon bill that Minister Tito Mboweni has pushed back. Its implementation was supposed to take place in January of 2019, and he's pushed it back to June of 2016, and we feel like that's a delay tactic. That's another revenue stream that we could be getting money from as a country, rather than getting money from VAT that taxes the poor that cannot afford. There's so many avenues that could get money from the wealthy to subsidize things that are needed in the country and that are very important.
Where to from here? Are you going to exert more pressure on government to accede to your demands?
From here, we are continuing our campaign, pushing for no VAT increase in 2019. We are continuing the campaign, pushing for the sugary drinks tax to be increased. We are pushing for the tobacco tax to be increased. We are pushing for implementation of the carbon tax, because those are streams of income that will lessen the burden on the poor South Africans who are currently being taxed to fill a deficit that they can't handle. We can't handle that burden, and that's what we are saying. Amandla Mobi represents about 200,000 South Africans, and our majority core membership are black, low-income women. And those people carry the burden of so much already that it makes no sense that our government is trying to fill a deficit by taking from them.
Are you happy perhaps with the rollout? I mean, they'll only be targeting those disadvantaged schools.
I'm very happy with the rollout, because Amandla mobi since 2011, so in 2011, President Jacob Zuma made an announcement to say that he would be rolling out free sanitary towels to low-income schools, and that did not happen until now. This is the first time we've heard anything. Amandla Mobi has been campaigning on free sanitary pads. So we have a platform where our members can suggest campaigns that they want. So we got a suggestion for a campaign, and we campaigned for free sanitary pads to be provided to girls in low-income schools. And some of you might have seen the big Amandla Mobi revolutionary pad move around. We've been following ministers around, we've been to Parliament, we've demonstrated outside the union buildings. We've been pushing for this intervention, and we're very happy that the president and the Minister of Finance have taken it seriously, and they're implementing it.
All right, Nxolo, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.